Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out the Hungry Horde. Just came out on PlayStation Plus for free. So let's just go take a quick look around because we might as well. You got camera invertation and sound effects and music, and we can also go and check the statistics. Pretty simple set of statistics. There's an online high scoreboard, thankfully. This would make the game very, very dull otherwise. But yeah, you can see here your overall kills compared to everyone else in the world. I'm currently number 31. And extras, that's pretty obvious. We also got the Minigames, which, well, we'll get to them later. Let's just play the game straight away. So, this is the Hungry Horde. We are a zombie horde moving through this huge area, this huge town, this huge whatever you want to call it. And we're already onto a minigame. So I have to go and explain the minigames. The minigames are spread throughout in gigantic gigantic present boxes, and you have to go pick them up. Well, you don't have to go pick them up, but it is worth the time to go and pick them up. Trust me on that. So what you're doing in the minigames is often very simple and very easy to tell just from looking at the game. Oh, I actually got hit by one of them, so game's over. I get, what do I get? I have gone to the green on the prize meter, so I get 5 seconds and 15 kills. And now I get dropped right back into the game. So the idea is, you're running around as this giant zombie horde, and you have to destroy as much as possible. You have a time limit, and you extend this time limit by eating people. And, as I said, and as you saw before, doing the minigames. You pick up brains as a pickup on the ground, and they give you power-ups. You gain X amount of... When you get X amount of brains, you'll get a power-up to use. My personal favourite is the dash, because it's the most useful just by default. A dash lets you move very quickly, therefore you might be able to get the drop on a bunch of different bastards. You use the touchscreen to destroy things like cars and objects like gates. You can use the right analog stick to split your horde up into different groups and use them to pick up different things. So for example here, I can send these guys to take out these, and then I can take these. And it's actually very hard to control your character in that mode. You can also use the L and R buttons to rotate, but that's not a very pleasant thing to do. My main problem with this game, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, this game just doesn't sit right with me. It's very dull. It's very hard to get engaged in it. It just doesn't seem to move fast enough, and being taken out of the action so often is really a big problem with this game too. I mean, you're constantly being thrown into things like minigames and stuff like that. God damn it. You're being constantly thrown into minigames, and you have to stop and think, oh, well, am I going to split my guys up here? Or am I going to have to just stop them in front of something and make them, and just tap the screen a ton, because that's the only real way you can destroy objects quickly? I hate that, by the way. That annoys me so much. Having to stop so you can tap the screen to destroy shit quicker just doesn't sit right with me at all. Just annoys me. It annoys me more than you might think. Thankfully, the game is kind of improved by the idea that the levels are exactly the same, although some people might consider this a detriment, and I actually do consider this a detriment more than it is an actual benefit to the game, because you're running the same levels over and over again without recourse. It would be nice if there was some method, or not so much method, as way to randomize the stages to make them more enjoyable, but I can see this becoming very boring very fast, and I'm already bored of running this level, and I've played it like 3 times. So, So when you fail, you have to go back to the very first level, and you have to do the very first level over and over and over again. And that can get frustrating very, very quickly. And sometimes you're left without a sense of direction too. Like, the game's on a time limit, so you want to know where you're going, and you want to know where you're going very, very quickly. You know, sometimes the game gives you arrows and prompts towards the objective, which is nice. You know, you would expect that sort of thing, but sometimes it doesn't. I feel like this game would work really well with the sort of crazy taxi-style arrow, giving you a rough pointer as to where you're going. Sometimes you can see it in the environment, but sometimes you don't. And again, I imagine this is relieved somewhat after the... Hold on, what are my objectives? Yeah, I've got a bunch of objectives to do too. That's pretty obvious. It's like a mobile game. So, what was I saying to you? Yeah, it just seems a bit odd, because sometimes you don't have the prompting you need, and it's like, oh crap, where do I go? I'm running out of time. Can I destroy this object? Can I destroy that object? Destroyable objects aren't really that obvious. Sometimes you'll run up against an object thinking, oh, maybe I can blow this up, and it turns out you can't. So, more prompts on what objects would be destructible would be very nice. So the idea is you just got to try and make it through the levels as fast as possible with as many kills as possible, and try and achieve your objectives along the way, but I can blame you for not actually being able to attain your objectives, trying to figure out your way around these bloody levels as fast as you possibly can. You also have to use the touchscreen to swipe across the locks and destroy them, which, again, it just takes you out of the action. It's just a pain in the ass. So this is a boss fight against a missile system of some kind, and we have to go up to these guys and just cut them out of their cages and let them out and let them take care of the mass for it. Because if we get too close to that thing, we're going to just fall over and bloody die is what we're going to do. So let's open all these up. Try and avoid getting run over by them. Thankfully the time limit stops here, because if you come into this with like 3 seconds left on the clock, you are screwed. But to be honest with you, just moving around this horde and just eating people isn't really all that engaging. I'm not really sure why. I can't put my finger on it. It's just... I just don't enjoy it that much. It's not that great. Having to do the same levels over and over and over again in order to actually get to the later ones seems like a bit of a cop-out to me. Like, why can't we start from level 2? I don't know, but the game just won't let us start from level 2. We have to start from level 1 all the time. So that's one level down. Gives us all our little statistics here. And the loading times are kind of annoying. Like, the initial loading time on this game is something like 30 seconds, and it's kind of frustrating, but nice little fade into the next level there. So I hope I remember my way through this level, because this level is kind of tough to work your way through. Split the horde here. Send them in different directions. Form them back up, get the 2 brain pickups. Dash through here. Grab as many of the bars as we possibly can. So this just doesn't satisfy me in a way that a similarly done game would. I'm really not sure why exactly. It's just not that entertaining, really. Alright, we've got to go down here now. So where exactly can we go here? I have no idea. I mean, I know where to go because I've played this level like twice already and it tells you where to go. It's just... well, it doesn't tell you where to go. Like, where am I going? What am I doing? Yeah, you have to hit the bloody plunger, my bad. The plunger. See, sometimes it's just kind of hard to tell when you're looking around frenziedly and the camera's just hard to see and stuff like that. And jeez, I'm really running out of guys. Let's use another power up there. That's a stun power up, so anyone who Anyone who gets in the way of that is pretty much dead. Crap, where do I go from here? Through here, I take it? Wait, don't tell me I have to hit the switch. The tiny ass amount of zombies I have for some reason. And I'm not going to make it to the next checkpoint. It was literally right there in front of me and I couldn't make it. That's a little frustrating. But that was my fault. I didn't see the plunger, but that is kind of hard to see down there. Kind of annoyed me. So the idea is you just keep running through the same levels again and again and again, and you have to just be constantly getting better. It'd be nice if you could practice the later levels and then do a full-on score run to try and get better at the levels and then just go right through, but the game doesn't let you do that. The minigames themselves aren't that entertaining. I'll go play the one that I like the most just because it's so odd. Because you can actually play the minigames through here. This game also runs on a sort of sticker pack system where you're just filling out this book of stickers. Not that much to it, really. There are special stickers you can get which let you do certain things, but they're pretty few and far between. What happened there? Oh, I guess I got a sticker that I already had, and the game's like, nope, you're not taking that. Well, whatever. Let's go play another minigame just to pass the time. I really wish that it was a little bit more consistent, right? I mean, I wish it would keep you in the game a bit more. Like, having to stop and beat the crap out of something by tapping it and having to play these minigames over and over again are just a bit odd. Like, maybe if they replaced it with, like, a singular button that you could press so that you could just beat the crap out of anything around you faster. And maybe if these minigames are integrated into the main game somehow with the main horde. Like, in between levels, you break into a disco or something, and then you do play this minigame, and then you go to the next level, and you play the next level without any real interruptions. It'd be kind of cool if you just had a bit more momentum to it, and if the game didn't break flow anywhere near as often. You'd just be constantly going through, tearing the crap out of zombies, and then when you're at a level break or a little bit more relevant area to actually have a break in the action, to have a minigame or two while the game loads or something for bonus. And the actual zombifying stuff isn't really that satisfying. You're just running over it. There's no real feedback to the way the zombies actually take any humans to your party. They just fall over, die, and join you. It just doesn't feel like you're really killing them or anything, which sounds a bit odd. It's more like there's no impact to them dying, and it doesn't really feel that satisfying. This game just isn't that satisfying overall. Having to replay the same levels over and over again with minigames that constantly break the flow and having to stop and beat the shit out of crap, and it's just a bunch of things out on top of each other just make this game not that satisfying. And considering the Binding of Isaac Rebirth came out today on Vita and it's free on PlayStation Plus along with this, just makes me feel like this game didn't really stand a chance, and these poor bastards having to go up against bloody Binding of Isaac Rebirth. There's a few good ideas here, it's just not that satisfying of a game overall to play, and I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, obviously, if you got it for free on PlayStation Plus, you might as well download it, find out if you like it for an hour. It's not that big, it's like 300 meg. But for me, I don't think I'll be playing this any longer. It's just not that satisfying, really. I can't see myself playing it because I just get bored by it, and the power-ups aren't that entertaining, and it's just not that visceral considering it's a zombie game, and I don't really enjoy non-visceral zombie games. Like, remember how back in Z-Run, how I complained it was the dullest weapon sound effects ever? Well, same sort of thing here, where it's just the dullest zombie eating ever. It just feels like I'm moving a circle next to another circle and now I have two circles. It really doesn't make a bloody difference. It doesn't feel like I'm eating a zombie at all. It's just not satisfying. And I've said that over and over again. And this game is pretty much just unsatisfying in my personal opinion. So, this has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.